Hey everyone, thanks for watching. If you don't know who I am, my name is Ryan Lehman, and my YouTube channel here that you're on is Hunting the Missouri. I have some pretty cool hunts and different things throughout the years on here. Some bucks and different does and different stuff. Uh, my goal this year is to change and switch from a compound bow over to traditional, and I'm going to be hunting with a recurve this fall. So I want to take you on the journey. As you can tell behind me, this is the first uh, whitetail I ever killed with a bow. That's my first bow kill. This one right here is my first big buck I ever killed with a bow. Right over here is my first mule deer that I ever killed with a bow. And then I actually killed this deer with a rifle this fall. And as you can tell, there's all kinds of different stuff from throughout the years. You know, my dad's deer and different stuff. But as you can tell, I've been very fortunate and killed some really nice deer. And I love bow hunting, but I just want to take it to the next step and the next level challenge. I feel like it would be a lot of fun to hunt traditional style, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take you on the journey, show you my bow and my arrows and everything, and hopefully it'll help you out. Maybe it'll inspire some other people to get into it as well. Okay, right here is my bow. It is a recurve, and not really sure how good you can see it, but it is a participant. It's a 58 inch. It's a Proline company, Hastings, Michigan is where it's out of. And right here it shows a 48-pound recurve, and it's a 58 inch top to bottom on the limb. I've got a Selway archery quiver on there. Really like it. Here's the arrows I shot in the past with Stalker Extremes, but they're only 7.3 grains per inch and they're only 500 spine, which for the specs for this bow is probably okay for target shooting, but for hunting I wanted to step up the weight, and that's what I did. So I've got right here is 3 different finger tabs, so I'm probably going to switch over to that way. I do have a glove here as well, but I'm thinking this is the way to go. I'll show that stuff to you in a little bit. Right here is the arrows I have decided to go with. It is the Easton Axis traditional arrow. These are the 400 spines that come in at 9.8 grains per inch, and I've got the ivory or bone color knock on it. But what I'm going to end up doing is put a 9-inch reflective wrap on the end, and then I will put my feather fletchings right on top. For up front, instead of the regular hit inserts, I will be doing a insert outsert that is steel, and it is got some extra weight to it, so it'll be 75 grains up front. Right here I've got an arrow fletcher, so I am going to start working on that. I'll show you my process of what my arrow looks like. First off, I'll put my wrap, go ahead and put my fletchings, get everything lined up, and then up front on those insert outserts I will screw my broadheads into it to turn it to make sure that my broadhead is glued exactly how I want it, and we'll go from there. I'm going to be shooting 175 grain field point, and then my broadhead in the fall I will be shooting the 175 grain Swamp Sharks by Simmons. They're awesome broadheads, so I'll take you along the journey of that as well. Alright, here is the reflective wraps. So what I'm going to do, I got this mouse pad. I'm going to put my knock right there and just kind of line that up about as close as I can, and then just roll that evenly right down. Right like that. Worked out really awesome. So that is reflective. So at nighttime, if you shine a flashlight looking for the arrow, that will glow, which will help find it. Looks pretty good. I'm going to do that on all 6 arrows I've got, and then show you what I'm going to do with my fletching. Okay, now that I've got my wraps that are reflective on there, here's my fletchings. I'm going with a 5.5 inch turkey feather. I'm just using this jig here, so I'll put it on there and glue it up, put all 3 of those on, and let them dry. I'll do 4 of them because that's all I have as far as fletchings go. I'll have to get a couple more, but these are the 5.5 inch turkey feathers. Got these from 3 Rivers Archery. So I got these fletchings from 3 Rivers. I got the reflective wraps. I believe these were the 7 inch, I think. Yeah, I think these were 7 inch glow reflective wraps. So I got the arrows from there. I got the reflective wraps from there. I've got the turkey feathers from there. And then in this box right here, instead of going with the regular hit inserts that come with the arrows that go inside of these axis, I will be going with the insert outserts. These are made by Easton as well. These are steel and they are 75 grains because I wanted to have a little extra weight up front for my FOC. So that's what I decided to go with, was those insert outserts. But before I put those in, I need to go to an archery shop just because right now I don't have an arrow saw to cut these. So I'm going to probably cut these down somewhere around 29.5 inch arrows, I think. So we'll just have to see. I'll let you know. This is the straight boning arrow fletcher. What I do is mark a black line on where I want my fletching. So here's the 5.5 inch turkey feather. So I put that in there and I'll put my dot of glue along here and drop that in. And then, you know, just basically lay them all on there and just rotate it and do all 3 exactly the same. Okay, here they are. Pretty sweet looking arrows. I really like how they turned out. Looks really good on these Easton Axis traditional arrows. Like I said, I've got that wrap, and then I've got the 5.5 inch turkey feathers. Looks pretty sweet. I only had enough to do 4 arrows, so that's what I did. I'll shoot these, make sure they work really well, and then if I like how they turn out, I'll go ahead and order more and finish out making these 2. That way I've got half a dozen. And if I don't like those, I'll look into some different options as far as, you know, fletching goes. But I think that's going to work really well for me. Okay, I'm getting ready to go to Bass Pro to get these arrows cut down. If you look, these arrows at full length, they're almost 33 inches. So my draw is about 29 inches. So I drew it back several times and got different lengths. But back here, that's going to probably end up being about 3 inches cut off. So it's going to be close to a 30-inch arrow. And then because of the weighted inserts, they're about a ½ inch long. So it'll probably end up being like a 30.5 inch arrow, and then that'll give plenty of room for my broadhead out front. And I'm gonna go get these cut down, and then I'll bring them back and glue in my own inserts. Only reason I'm doing that because I don't have an arrow saw yet, and I just prefer, you know, doing my own inserts, gluing them in, and that way I can turn them and get all the broadheads exactly how I want them. And I'll show you that process when I get back. Okay, I just got back from Cabela's a little while ago, and basically what I've got here is your hit inserts. These are the X diameter. 5mm. So if you look at these, normally they go on the inside of the shaft of the arrow, but I went ahead and ordered these. These are those insert outserts I was talking about. So as you can tell, instead of that being all the way down in the arrow and screwing your broadhead or field point into it, this will sit flush with the end, and then you'll screw into this. And the purpose for this is 75 grains, so it weighs a lot more. This is a steel insert, so it weighs, 75 grains. And basically with that gives you more FOC. So what I'm going to do, take this Simmons Swamp Shark broadhead that I'm going to be using, and what I will do is grab this insert and screw it all the way in and mark it. That way I know exactly how my arrow is going to be. That way whenever I screw in my broadheads, I can screw them in all the way down as tight as I can, and they will be perfectly horizontal, so they'll fly better. Okay, I've got this screwed down all the way, and as you can tell, see those black marks right there? I took a Sharpie and marked on each side, so I know exactly where this will be horizontal. And what I'll do is get this arrow, make sure my fletchings are laying flat like this, and then with that being said, I want this to sit in here like that. So I will probably mark each side of the arrow on here. That way I can line up the marks with this and the marks on that, and then I'll just glue them all in. Okay, here is the completed arrow. Turned out really well. I'm really pleased with it. If you look up front, there's that 175 grain Simmons Swamp Shark. Right here is the weighted insert. That's a 75 grain insert. And then here's the 9.8 grains per inch, 400 spine, carbon arrow. It's painted wood. These are the Easton Axis Traditionals. There's my, I believe that's a 9-inch wrap. And then I've got a 5.5-inch turkey feathers. And really good looking arrow. It's coming in a little bit heavier than I had thought. Not by much, but it's going to be in the ballpark of about what I wanted. I wanted to be between 550 and 600. I'm going to put this on the grain scale. As you can see right there, coming in at 606. So yep, 606 grains total. So that should turn out really well. I will shoot it and show you how it flies and how it works out. What I was telling you earlier, if you look on here on the arrow and on the insert, I marked it with Sharpie. That way I can line those up. And the reason for that is when I knock my arrow, it's going to end up knocking like this. So it's going to be on my shelf. And as it goes down, when you get down to the end here, you have a horizontal broadhead. So I went ahead and glued all of them that way. So I can just hook onto my string and my broadhead will be horizontal, flying out of the bow like that. Alright, here's the setup. Get ready to go out and shoot. Did some calculation and a little bit of writing. So carbon to carbon, 30 3/8 length. From the throat of the nock to the front of the insert is 31 1/4. Overall weight, 606 grains total. And then I also figure out the FOC, which is 17.74. Here are a couple different shooting methods as far as gloves or finger tabs go. This is an extra large. I got this one from Cabela's. And then I bought all 3 of these tabs from Amazon. I think one of them was by Bear. I think this one, this one is Ring Sun out of London, I believe. It says Ring Sun London. And then this one here, I'm not really sure. This one has elastic on it. This one you just slide your finger through the hole there, and then this one has elastic as well. So, gonna try them out. I think supposedly you're supposed to have a smoother release on a tab than a glove. Plus, during the summertime, it's not going to be as hot. So I'm probably going to end up shooting with one of these three. I don't really like these because they're kind of loud. Those rivets aren't really that good. This one seems really good. And this one is just sewn. So I'll probably end up with one of these two. But we'll see, whatever shoots best. As far as aiming method, you probably seen earlier I had a nock here, and my nock would actually go in between those two nocks, and then I had one down here for my point on. That's for gap shooting, but I'm probably gonna go traditional style by just you know, basically you draw back and shoot by instinct instead of aiming. First 3 shots, first one's high, second one was high. Shot at the first close target, about 10 yards, went over the top of it. And I shot back at that one at about 20. Yeah, I hit high, and then I shot again here, and ended up about 2 inches high, but a little different arrow, a little different feel, so I just got to get used to it, see how it shoots. Kind of a rough group, not too bad on those 3. That one was kind of a flyer. So today is still the 3rd day of me shooting, but I just kind of been messing around with it. I still got to figure out my anchor point, my shooting style, and everything like that. I've been shooting with 1 finger above and 2 below, so split finger. I just kind of switched it up just to try something different, and so I just tried 3 below, and my group improved tremendously. Like, my group got a lot tighter, so that's probably what I'm going to do, is just keep messing around shooting with that and see. But as of right now, it seems like I shoot a better group with 3 below than I do split finger. So I'm going to shoot a group here, and hopefully it turns out pretty good. We shall see. Here goes my group of 3 fingers below. Not too bad of a group. I'm at probably 7 yards, so I know that's not good, but I'm being real. I'm just starting this journey, so I figure, that's not too bad for just starting out. here in a couple months. Obviously, I want it to be a lot tighter. I've got all the way till September 15th before bow season comes in, so I've got, you know, eight and a half months. Thanks everyone for watching. I really appreciate it and hope you enjoyed. Stay tuned and watch the next several videos, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. Appreciate it.